Look, it's just I'm going through a phase, guys. Okay. Almiral hot tub stream still happening. Just maybe beard rub stream. Well, we're gonna have to wait a little while, but
Prepare to fight.
we'll find a way.
Okay,
shit.
yeah, you take us away because I need to update the overlay still.
2,
Okay.
1.
Well, I'll start off actually. I'll see who we start off with on your POV. Okay, we'll start off on Lure's POV. Gets the Mega and the LG spawn. So Klyb gonna get the rail and the heavy. I already like what Lure's doing right now. He's not wasting any time. He knows that he just wants to kind of keep a little bit of pressure onto Klyb, or he's just kind of sussing him out. And right now, for Lure, he wants to get this heavy. You know, he has the inject behind him. He can really keep this to his advantage, but I would want him to get the rail right now. I think this is kind of a missed opportunity. But Klyb gonna push in. Lure gonna get this mid armor and get the Mega of his own. And again, he's gonna need to get this rail, because especially on this map, you know, lining up those angles, it's gonna be really important to at least whittle down the Doom, especially because he has so much mobility. But I want to see Lure do a little bit of damage and stick around this heavy area. That's really how he's going to be able to maximize his advantage. Now, okay, Klyb getting to the heavy area again. I like what Klyb's doing, kind of applying pressure before he picks up the heavy. It seems very standard, but exactly what he needs to be doing. And trades a rail. Lure managed to dealing some damage, and Klyb backing up to the heavy. Now this can be kind of a bit of a problem when both players are being a little bit too passive, because you know you want to kind of force the issue. You want to see if you can be the one who's opening up the game rather than playing too slow. Sometimes those doesn't always favor you, but you get these weird scenarios where, well, hang on a second, Klyb pushing in, setting a nice trap for Lure here. He's gonna get the first frag. It's actually a trade. Nice.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Lure jumped out of the map. But yeah, the status quo is still the same. Lure gets the heavy. Klyb the Mega off. But yeah, Klyb is doing better in the weapon department.
Yep. And more importantly, right now he's got the mid position. It's going to be really hard for Lure here. Klyb actually pushing in a little bit. And kind of getting behind Lure. He's going to be able to escape. Lure missing his rail. It's going to be not the best of situations. But Lure getting the Mega now. And Klyb should get this heavy pretty uncontested.
Yeah, in the meantime, Lure got the LG in his tool belt.
Yeah, I like what Lure's doing now. You know, setting up, just at least going for that peak rail. He's giving himself the opportunity. But this is where he gets tough. You know, Doom, this is where he likes to be. He just likes to be the center part of the map. But nice, again, just keeps chipping away at Klyb here. And this is what I want to see. I really hope Lure stays for this heavy. I think he definitely could have.
Oh yeah, losing out on both items and also getting that rail in the body. And yeah, Klyb knows where he is right now.
Yeah, this is...
Yeah, Lure retreating to that light in the lightning gun room.
But again, I mean, what I'd like to see from Klyb here, I mean, he's got both items. Lure, he was in the LG area. You don't want to commit too far, but you want to try at least for something. You know, that was kind of, I think, a wasted opportunity, but still, it's going to give Lure an opportunity to get to his natural stack and hopefully kind of push Klyb off this this Mega. But Klyb pushing in, I like this. Hits a direct. Lure having to use the inject. And this battle is not going to go well. Klyb getting the his second kill. And yeah, Klyb doing what he needed to do. As soon as he had the stack, just push, just go right in there. So well done by him to recognize that. Getting a nice rail into Lure. And he's going to be relegated to the LG side of the map with not very much to work with. Let's see what Klyb manages to do now. Takes back into mid position. Lure kind of making a bit of noise. Gets hit with a rail from Klyb. Another one from Klyb. This should be definitely a follow-up kill easily. He's so low now. Yep, another frag. And this is getting quite tiresome for Lure, I'd say, because unfortunately he's just not chipping away. He just needs to be a little bit more active on the map. But hang on a second. Klyb dropping onto Lure here, and nice follow-up by Klyb. Not going to be able to hold him off with the LG.
Yeah, I also like how he dropped down. He just blocked off the escape path. Lure could only take the jump pad, but he even couldn't get to the jump pad. So.
And again, this is one of the tough parts of being the light champ on this map. You know, just when you want to keep contesting, but you just don't have enough starting stack. Lure going back in for that heavy, but just not having enough, and Klyb just kind of cleaning up quite easily there.
Yeah, I think for me this Doom or Klyb's Doom. Oh, he's
surely
actually doing some nice damage, but Klyb double jumps through the air while releasing rockets.
So far, Klyb is playing it really well. He's, you know, doing the two main things, which is dealing the damage. Hang on a second. Another close range engagement, another frag for Klyb. Yeah, when he's having the control, he's applying the pressure, and more importantly, he's just doing more damage than Lure overall. And it's just making it, you know, very hard for Lure to have a footing just because of how much damage output Klyb is having. So, really nice work by him.
I also think that Lure got nothing in terms of the major items.
I mean, this is hard for Lure here. I think that hang on a second, they get another fight. This could be a potential. Klyb only 8 HP after that engagement. You know, I think he went for something here. He wanted to try the Anarchy pick, and it can work, but so far Doom just proving to be a little bit too strong. Lure going for a rocket jump there after the heavy, but actually managed to turn it around.
It was just to confuse Klyb. But yeah, he only has rail and a rocket launcher. You want to use get the LG in your arsenal against the Doom. Oh, but if you hit your rockets.
But again, I hope Lure recognizes only 2 minutes left. You know, being 7 frags down, it's not impossible, but it's definitely not very easy. He needs to really be getting in there, but another close range engagement. Doom with that double jump could prove to be too strong against rockets. And we could be seeing the start of the end of map 1, I think. And I'll actually switch to Lure's POV here a little bit, just to see what he's up to. Actually applying pressure onto this heavy. See, this is the kind of stuff, if we looked at what Lure did there, which is really nice by him, is that when Anarchy used the inject, he just had a little bit more movement acceleration. So when he was pushing into that heavy, he was able to kind of dodge a little bit better, and it was making it hard for Klyb to rain down the rockets. Manages to get the heavy for himself and actually collects the frag. So moments like that, where, you know, just being a bit more forward thinking with the movement, I think you can see instantly he got the item and got the kill, and there's no surprise to that.
Yeah, and he's not able to pressure. Ooh, but, yeah, the real reload time is so punishing.
Yeah. And let's see if I can remember again what the next map champ picks were.
Yeah, now this map is almost over. What do you like that there are, especially the lower ranked people, they really think Doom is OP. And I had the same opinion, but yeah, now being able to beat him in ranks more and more just by maining the LG. But I do understand that yeah, he has such an advantage with the double jump of getting into favorable position. But what I found most frustrating is that he doesn't make a sound while floating through the air. So
And
yeah, is there something you would change about Doom?
you know, it's funny. That is one of the mechanics that really makes. That is what makes Doom so strong, especially on Awoken. Mainly because he can just move, you know, from one place to another, and you really can't hear it. Unfortunately, that seems to be, you know, if you take that strength away from him, he really doesn't have much left. I mean, you know, the double jump in the middle of a fight is really strong, but I probably wouldn't change too much about Doom, because you do find, like, when he is out of control, he just doesn't have that much going for him, because all of a sudden his mobility he doesn't have that element of surprise. It really is much of a you know, in control and momentum based kind of character. The more when that stuff happens, you just kind of have to understand if he has the potential to move around the map quietly. And when you take that into account, you kind of, you know, maybe fake a rocket jump or fake going a direction. Once you start kind of questioning where the Doom needs to be, that's how you can kind of outmaneuver someone who has more mobility than you. It's not the easiest thing to do, but that's kind of what you have to do there. And let's see. So we're talking about servers now.
Yeah, we get the Molten Falls, Galena versus Death Knight. Yeah, but I also brought it up because I think there are some tests going on again in the public test server. That Doomslayer's double jump velocity is reduced from 7.5 meters or ms to 7. So
Jump velocity.
Yeah, so he's less faster in the jumps.
I wonder what that looks like. I mean, if it's more so that when he pops the double jump, maybe he doesn't go as high, or something like this, or maybe just how fast he moves. That'd be
yeah, that would be interesting, because some jumps on Awoken you really need to be kind of perfect to get them. So yeah, I would think they will not change the height, but maybe the speed that you get to that height.
Maybe it's more of like changing the acceleration or something like this. I remember a while ago they experimented with this, like a delay in the double jump. You can only use like every 2 seconds.
I really
that was
like
kind of
that.
interesting.
Round begins in 3, 2, 1.
Alrighty. Whose POV will we
Yeah,
start
I'm on Lure again because he needs to get back into the series.
Okay. So, Lure with the Mega and the Rocket Spawn. Chuck's down his first totem. Already setting up his totem defense in the Mega. Now, he does have to be careful of Klyb. I mean, it's funny, I can't remember who it was. I think what Jones mentioned earlier, Klyb is notorious for the corner, orb, rocket, shotgun, whatever you want to call it, combo.
True.
And Death Knight on this map, he definitely has the potential for that.
Yeah, I think it was a match, him versus a high place challenger. That, yeah, I think it was also one of the first match I saw with the new patch, and it was Ranger versus Death Knight, Klyb on Death Knight, and the other on the Ranger, and it was just a press F fest.
I mean, if it works, it works. Hang on a second. Klyb pushing him with the rockets and flame strike, but nice little combo by him. Already Klyb with a 1 frag lead, and nice little trap by Lure here at the banana. Not gonna, unfortunately, convert into anything, but this Mega coming up, hopefully should be able to get it. And I just don't want to see the same thing from Lura this game. Nice little rocket combo. Klyb just pushing in. Didn't have his flame strike, and yeah, Lura just cleaning up. Yeah, I just don't want to see Lura make the same mistake he did on the last game, which is be too passive. He needs to kind of hit the damage when he has opportunities to, but more importantly, just hit it at the right times. I mean, easier said than done, but a part of that starts with just being more active on the map and making sure he's at least getting one major item. You know, last map, Klyb was getting both items, I think, quite often, and that's, you know, doesn't matter how hard you hit. If he has both items, you're gonna have to hit twice as hard almost.
Yeah. But what I'm seeing difference in playstyle, like Lure circled around the whole map while he already was at mega health, and it was the next item. And Klyb is just takes position at or around the items that is spawning next, and just decides to trap. So I don't really like Lure got nothing out of circling around before the mega health spawn.
I will look more closely. I definitely felt he's kind of missing out on the items, but I'm curious to see specifically. Okay, so let's take a look at this situation now. Lura has 100 health and 50. He's gonna have 100. Klyb, you know, he's coming in, but Lura has position, and this mega will spawn. Now this is Lura's time to at least deal damage as Klyb's coming from the heavy. Nice, hits the rail. And okay, now he has to contest for this to this heavy. At least be there and do damage. Klyb with the flame strike. I like what he's doing. Just getting in there too, but nice. This is exactly what he needs to do. Perfect.
Yeah, it's always hard to follow this one up. Oh, and that's trap. But Lure, yeah, he actually got pushed away by the flame strike, and Klyb not connect the shot. And he's gonna get a follow-up if he's... Yeah, he can just rocket jump and go mental, right? Klyb only has the rocket launcher, but Lure leaves him be.
It's okay for Lure to do that, but he needs to get into this heavy. Even if he takes that opening rail, the biggest thing that Lure needs to make sure, he needs to get this heavy. But they're both railable, and Klyb gonna be able to get the heavy securely there. Now this is the problem. Lure needs to get this mega, or he needs to at least push Klyb away. If Klyb gets both, hits a nice rail as Klyb is coming, perfect. Gets a mega of his own. And now the same situation again. Will Lure actually contest for this heavy? He needs to be there.
Yeah, Klyb gets all the time files though, so his flame strike will be up again.
Nice rocket to start off. Okay. Gets railed, but it doesn't matter. At this point, he got the full value of the heavy there. Now same thing again. He needs to at least be there at this mega and at least push Klyb away, but Klyb just waiting. Hopefully Lure knows not to push. Nice rail by Klyb. See. But the flame strike is actually going to prove to be too much. And you know, if I could just quickly say, Lure there in that last fight, you know, he got to rail just a second too late, and it was just because of that hesitation. You know, Klyb was coming up the bounce pad, but if he was just a little bit more active in the room, he would have defended the rail, gotten that armor, and actually been completely okay. But that 1 second hesitation just kind of set him back just too far.
Yeah, and on the other hand, you have to comment Klyb, like, he trusts his cheese. He really knows like, how to get the most out of these champions. Like it's an insane thing to do to take a jump pad like that when the enemy is there with an LG. But he makes it work.
Yep, and I'm glad you mentioned that, because that's actually, you know, people will say, you know, being somebody who uses the abilities and takes full advantage, like, that's like a noob thing to do, but actually that's just taking full advantage of everything you have in your arsenal. So Klyb, you know, basing his game style around that, I think is actually a good sign that he's, you know, seeing what he's, taking advantage of his strengths, you know, that's what you really need to do in this game. And now again, Lure with the mega. Klyb with the heavy. So it's 2-2. We're just about to get to 7 minutes now. And again, Klyb just pushing in with rockets of flame strike. Lure needs to get out, but just keeps pressuring with the LG. And it's not the end of the world for Lure here, but again, he needs to just keep the momentum. I think if he surrenders the Mega too much, it's going to be not good, but he gets the Mega, gets into an LG battle. This is going to be good for Klyb, I think. And I think the health bubbles actually saved him. Definitely helped.
Yeah, it really looked like it went Lure's way, especially the last instance of the fight.
But he's in a good position now. Lure is going to be able to get the rail, get to the heavy now. And he needs to, with 2.5 minutes, you know, 2 frags is not much, but I just love to see more pressure coming from Lure here.
Yeah,
He knows Klyb just picked up the Mega.
Let's give him some screen time. Yeah, and he needs to have. Okay, he gets. Yeah, he was flying through the air and could do nothing but take the damage. But yeah, I wanted to say like he does good by having the totem in the back pocket because you can use that to mitigate the damage over time.
You know, it's a small little detail, but I'll quickly mention. See, goodness, I think the flame strike is very hard to deal with because it is such a very linear. You know, every time you get into a head-to-head fight, it's always going to have the advantage. Okay, I just wanted to explain a quick point about what's happening in this game, which is making it that much harder for Lure, and why people maybe struggle against like champions like Ranger, Keel, and Death Knight. So what happened there was Lure pushed into the rocket, and I'm not sure the exact stack difference, but if Klyb actually... Hang on a second, again, straight out the map. That's definitely going to be super annoying. Okay, if they have a similar stack, Klyb is always going to have the advantage in the head-to-head fight. And if you give him that opportunity to use the rocket, use the flame strike, doesn't matter how, what crazy move you do, he's always going to have the advantage. And so when that happens, you have to do, you have to get both items. Basically, like, if Klyb camps there the whole game, this is like literally the logic you would use. If Klyb camps there the whole game, then you would eventually get both items, and then you would have such a stack advantage that if Klyb's 100-100, you can push in with 175-175. But if all the time you're always equal stack, it's never going to work. I mean, eventually, once Klyb actually goes for an item, that's Lure's opportunity to kind of like push him around, use the totems, maybe kind of like extend the fight out. But having these direct engagements, it's just, like I said, it doesn't matter how good you play, what kind of magic you might do, it's just not enough. Hopefully that made sense.
Yeah, but yeah, and then also try to not get behind that much, because then you still need to force the issue against the flame strike, or the orb against the ranger. So yeah, so then the start should be really defensive if you're if you can't match burst damage. Is that what I'm getting out of this?
I would say actually that's exactly right too. You need to get to a stage where you have to actually make sure. If we look at it even just like on paper, if you're not getting the full value out of your champion, then every time you're getting into a fight, rocket flame strike, it's always going to be too much. There's no moment where you can really use the totem where it's kind of full effectiveness at the start of the game. So yeah, that's why more can Lure can drag out the fight and whittle Klyb down. That's how you really beat the burst damage champions. But coming into map 3, Eisen versus BJ on Ruins. Let's see if now Klyb's not going to have his burst damage, but he's going to still have a lot of damage potential with, dual wield is very strong with rockets, rail, LG. And yeah, we're about to get into it.
Yeah, so this is the third map. Klyb wins the series, but there's still 1 point to be won by either Lure or Klyb. Or yeah, Klyb. As all the Russians are teaching us.
I like to say Klybby. Sounds the nicest.
Like from MS Word. Clippy.
Alright.
Prepare to fight.
Should we start on Klyb this time?
Yes.
Or,
Let's do it.
fuck, what are we calling him Klyb? Or-
Yeah, I call him Klyb,
Fight.
but as soon as
Okay.
a fight starts, I forget that it's Klyb and I call him Klyb. But yeah, we should pronounce it as Klyb.
Klyb, if I can say. Alright, well, both players gonna get all the weapons they need at the start of the game. Lure is still waiting to get his 50 armor. Hopefully we'll get it now. And yet to see a a turret drop from Lure. Looks like he will. Hang on a second. Klyb pushing in with LG. Really nice attack by him. And hopefully we don't see the start of Lure getting too far behind with the items. I really hope he continues to at least get one. It's going to be very important. And both players kind of just rotating around the map right now. Lure with a slightly better position. Klyb with the ability kind of push in and yeah, gonna prove to be too much.
Lead taken.
Nice switch to shotgun there. Absolutely just got really nice value out of that.
Yeah,
And also-
almost that Lure didn't hear Klyb.
Stopwatch.
He was so surprised that he got the damage from behind.
Well, I think Klyb did like a vertical drop where basically you don't hear until the very last second he's basically on the ground. So really nice by him to recognize about that positioning. And Lure should get this mega here, but Klyb actually rocket jumps up. What the? All right.
Yeah, plus forward hero, Klyb.
You know, call it crazy, but sometimes those moves, you know, they're exactly the right amount of surprise to your opponent. I mean, Lure had no, like, how could you expect that? It was such an awkward angle.
Yeah, but
And-
I do think Klyb had an idea where Lure's position was, so he jumped in a way that he actually blocked the pathway for Lure onto the mega health.
Yeah.
So it might look insane. It was insane, but it was insanity with a plan.
A little. There was some calculation involved. I would agree.
But yeah, I really like this map. Large, and I think this is more dual than mechanical.
Yeah, it's sometimes it can be hard to force engagements. I mean, you see what's happening now, where you know one player is for an item, and then it's so easy to disengage because the map is so big, and just the way the map is designed with going to and from items, it's not very good for following up fights. You can't really connect the fights together. That's what's kind of annoying about this map. But you know, something like this, what Lure does, hits an early rail, pushes Klyb out with a rocket, and gonna win the mega just because of it.
Yeah, Klyb can defend this position. Lure does not try his luck. And like, yeah, with the two lights so spread out, it's if you have heavy control, I think it's really easy to hunt up your opponent. They will certainly go for one of the two lights.
Yeah. Sometimes, you know, hang on a second, Klyb pushing in with ability. Not gonna get too much value here this time. But nice work by Lure to just, you know, the heavy's still up, but he goes to keep pressuring. Nice work by him. Doesn't necessarily pay off, but I like that move. And Klyb again sees Lure coming from the heavy. Just takes position on the bounce pad. And Klyb gonna get the Mega. Again, Lure a little bit trapped at this lower armor.
And it's just, again, that Klyb just is in position way earlier than Lure.
Yep.
Like, Klyb was setting up 10 seconds before the item. And also he knew that Lure was in the garden, so... If Lure went to the heavy, he would certainly meet a lot of damage from that.
Nice little defensive position Lure's taken up now. But Klyb gonna get the Mega now. And, you know, it's a bit hard to, you know, try to be as specific as possible with this, but the main problem with what's happening with Lure right now is that, exactly like you said before, Klyb is always in position a little bit earlier. And all Lure needs to do is get his 100-100, have enough stack, and as soon as do what Klyb is doing, hang on a second, another quick fight over the Mega. Klyb gonna clean up with the rockets. He just needs to do what Klyb is doing, which is like, you know, once when Klyb is out of control, he's 100-100, and he's waiting for Lure to come from the next item. And it seems very simple, but you know, this one move is stopping Lure from coming, then Klyb is getting the item, and Lure just needs to do the same thing, just wait between the items. But hang on a second, actually, Lure winning that LG fight, even though he had the ability, but starting shotgun straight off the spawn, super annoying, but cleans up the frag.
Yeah, a Klyb did enough before dying. But yeah, I also recognize this from my own place, that you just keep chasing the rotation. And there is just, yeah, one moment. You need to take a stand instead of chasing the rotation that your enemy is having. But I always found that out after the game. So let's see if they're able to do something about it.
But oh my goodness, that last rail would have killed. But Klyb was so low there actually after that fight. And again, another frag to Klyb. Unfortunately, this is not going Lure's way.
No, he does get a point for playing.
Okay. And I think, you know, in this division, I think this would have been one of the harder opponents too. At least for Lure's playstyle. You know, he's not going to... Didn't really give Lure many chances. That being said, you know, still have 2.5 minutes, not over yet. And just absolutely just keeping the pressure on with this damage. Actually railable, but Klyb hitting the last rail. And 8-1. This is definitely not looking too good.
Yeah, let's see what Lure is going to do right from the spawn. Oh, well, he gets another frag on board. Klyb, instead of going for the item, peeked again while being raidable. Oh, but he gets the heavy. So no full rotation for Lure.
Yeah, this has proven to be quite tough, I think. But hits the opening rail onto Klyb. Klyb with the ability, and Lure pushing in, actually manages to convert. Gonna get the Mega. Minute and a half left.
90 seconds to go. Only the rail, right? I don't know, should he push?
Nice little rocket though, long range rocket, that was pretty cool. I mean, at this point in the game, like, there isn't so much you can do. You can just, at this point, you would have to keep running into your opponent and really hope for the best, and even then it would be still quite tough. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, it's been the story of the whole series, which is like, Lure just needs to get, I mean, I was gonna say, he needs to get more items and do more damage. I mean, it sounds easier said than done, but
Cookie cutter
just-
duel.
yeah. But honestly, ooh, nice little long-range rocket. But he needs to do that because unfortunately, you know, like I said, doesn't matter how creative you play, if the other guy just has like, you know, can just soak up so much damage, there's nothing you can do. The game is not designed in a way where you can do that. You know, maybe potentially around champions with abilities, but you know what? Klyb picked all those. He picked the DK. Well, he picked Doom, I guess, in the first map too, but even on the last map, BJ, you know, has a lot of like massive damage potential in a short space of time. And I think, you know, maybe if Lure put that into his playstyle more, he could play that more defensive. Because then it's giving him more opportunities to, you know, play slow. But if you play slow and then you play, you know, Aizen and who else was it? Oh, okay. Now when I think about what he played, he didn't have chances, but he needs to get more of the items and he needs to do more damage. So
Yeah, so let's see. We'll quickly look at the scoreboard. We see Klyb RMV at number 1. Klyb just got 4 points, so he will take over first place. Lure is, it's actually his first game, so he gets 1 point out of this. Will be 7th. But he still has a lot to play. So
Okay.
yeah, congratulations for Klyb taking the 4 points home. And yeah, I don't know if he still needs to play against Klyb or RMV. It would be an interesting one. But yeah, wow, I'm super bright.
engulfed by the sun here. Why does that happen?
Oh yeah, so I think I have FPS mode on my. No, it's just I already don't know. It's my screen.
Okay.
Bright light. I have a white page open. But yeah,
Gotcha.
this concludes the stream for today. Do you have any parting words, Zenaku?
No particularly. I'd love to see more from Lure. Maybe I'll have to speak to him later about maybe how he can play a little bit differently. But I think, you know, what we always see sometimes is like at the end of games, you know, sometimes when you know you've like lost a game, all of a sudden you just don't care anymore and you start playing a lot better. And it's like, well, hang on a minute, what's the difference between what's happening at the start and what's happening later? I just hope that Lure can see those yeah, so what Jones, right?
He
No,
tried.
Jones, okay. You only learn through punishment, okay? That's what my parents always told me. No, I just hope he can look back at those VODs and, you know, just after every loss, just keep going. But, all right. Yeah, we'll see. Hopefully it can be better in future.